What up? What up? Soul Sparked Radio. I'm your host, Mr. Renew, and we're going to get ourselves a message. It's been a little bit of a time, and you know what? Pretty excited to be here with y'all. I've been doing a lot in between, and I've been trying to do a lot less in between as well, which means I'm trying to do two different things at once, look left and look right. But with that, it's helping me see better so I can show you. And then there's a few things that is going to change because I'm the dude to make the change. Why? Because I really hate that shit. I don't hate it, but you know what I mean. I really dislike these things that people do, so I want to make sure everything is clearly seen. So, today we're going to start off with a guidance angel message. So we're going to see what the angels want us to know. And when we learn that, then I'm going to talk to you personally. The reason why I'm doing that is because you got to know who you are. And we say that. But I've been doing a lot of research. And I've been realizing that many of the greats, they weren't great in their own selves at their own time. They were geniuses laying down scattered ingredients, but they didn't compile a recipe. It took people afterwards bringing the ingredients together to make the recipe. This is you knowing yourself, right? So on the spiritual side of life, we're trying to pull ourselves together to become whole. And so you got to know the differences. That is the problem. Everybody wants everybody to be the same, and that's the problem. Knowing that people see the same thing differently is the key to success. Knowing you can see yourself differently is the key to your material success. This physical world, this materialistic realm, all of this is going to be expressed as who you are in whatever situation. So, I'm going to be doing disc personality readings. Everything is going to be based upon one of those personality types. And if you don't know your type, you can use the calculator to determine it. You can find your own online for free if you want to, but the one that I've built, it gives you more. It gives you the recipes, and it gives you what to do when you fuck up or do right. It gives you so much from one thing because, I had these great heads in my mind. These previous good people. I never look at myself as the greatest thing ever. I'm always the greatest thing becoming, but when I became something, I'll be wanting to hold on. And sometimes you got to keep on growing. And it is important to know what that version of you needs. And this is what a coach would do, but I'm making it easy because everybody can already see. That's why it's free. It's just a matter of you going to school and saying, I'm going to learn today. Did you make the choice? Did you make the decision? That's what I'm really trying to say. And with this, I'm going to try to help us do so with the cards, but you need to put in some work on the other end. And so, just like in the spiritual community, you got to get a product, a journal, do this, do that. There's nothing comprehensive. You can try this ingredient, try that ingredient, but how about we put some shit together to make something new? This is what I'm trying to do, and that's my focus on the channel now. The channel was helping you see yourself collectively, so I always want to start off with the angels, the collective. Something that is not us, just interpreted. Cosmos, the taste of a meal. I don't know what that shit tastes like to you, but to me it tastes good. Well, it tastes good to me too, but I still don't know what that tastes like because guess what? You don't like tomatoes and I do. But we both like this dish and it got some kind of tomato in there, so what are we talking about? The details behind the personality. This is why everybody can say your spiritual journey was on its own, but it's not. It ain't. Your experience is, but the journey is the same. We're all walking the same pathway across time. So the journey is the same. But there's a few of us who can do some tricks and shit in between. This is like gas inside of your soda, inside of your bottle. when you shake up that soda bottle and you see those bubbles moving everywhere, that's some spiritual teachers and experiences that you be living through life. And all of these waves, they come in two different forms, but everything else is expressed from those two lights. But it's a single light. And you gotta realize that everybody sees you different. So try to learn the different selves that people are seeing. That's what the channel is moving forward. But this is tools now. We got shit to help you. But I've been having the ingredients out here for everybody. But now I've been cooking. I've been cooking. Now I've been cooking up some nice stuff. And guess what? Looks like Archangel Raphael is here to help us share this stuff. Bring it to life for you, because you're trying to bring life to parts of you that you need to. Fuck the world right now. Don't matter. What matters right now is what you need to do for you, because there's an infinite number of yous. There's an infinite number of do's. There's a lot of different ways to bring it. You up on the scene as you intermingling with your own self and your past. Behaviors and its actions of my past. But nope, I'm still doing things of the past. Up in the future, but then it's a past, ain't it? Up on the flow. I don't know what's on the go. But nope, I'm just progressing what I already know. That's the past and the future on the present go. So I'm doing what I do on the speed, changing personalities. So I gotta understand my dominant force, and which one of me is never on board. Who is the devil up in the me? It's changing faces. Why can't you see? You ain't had the right recipe, but here's a meal for you. Yeah. So, how can we eat? How can we eat with this new knowledge, knowing that we... Whoa. You right. I gotta change that up. That's for some other kind of shit. My bad. Angels, talk to us. What do we need to know? Talk to your boy. Okay. I'm nice card right here, man. So obviously, if we can take in some interpretation, we got the scales over here, so we know this is going to be a Libra card or Libra energy. But if you have Libra, you automatically have the opposite, which is Aries, because they come together. And so I got these scales in this flame, so I'm like balancing passions. But then you got to take a look. I got purples and I got reds. That means I'm balancing opposites. Remember, the root chakra is opposite to the crown chakra. If that's the case, then this is South Pole, that's the North Pole, nigga. It's easy, it ain't hard. That's number 0 is number 9, and all together you got 10 of them hoes. There's no such thing as 10. That's a new thing. 2 things. Let's keep going. We have a lantern and a flaming sword. So it's like I have a passion that can be utilized in an intelligent way, but then you also have a light shining through the dark. So it's like a multitude of things, but a lot of it is just seen as, for me, balance right now. So what the angels are wanting us to understand is balance right now. But the balance of who you are, what you're doing, those personalities. And the way you do this is through integrity. Let's read. Hamaya is the angel of integrity, and he looks after people seeking the truth. He also enjoys granting happiness to all long-term relationships. Hamaya wears a suit of armor and wields a large flaming sword. These indicate the angelic choir of powers to which Amaya belongs. Amaya, Hamaya, is in a forest clearing at dusk, break of dawn, or the break of night. He stands with one foot resting on a rock. Beside him is a set of scales, again symbolizing the sign of Libra. He holds a lantern to illuminate the scene. So, before I get into the practical aspect of this is telling us my insight after recursing through my personality cells is we got to go back and find out which ones of us is not being integral in this point right now. Integral or integral are things of moments. This is like periods of time. I go to first period, second period, third period, fourth period. But I got my passing period, passing period, period. But I can go further. I got my passing period, passing period, lunch, passing period. So notice I can keep putting these iterations inside of this one thing. That is the integrity, the integrals of different parts of you when you made a decision to go yes or no, left or right, stop or go. Whatever the North Pole, South Pole thing was, the scale, are you now wavering in between? But the thing is, what needs to be understood is, if you're wavering in between, that means there's two more things in between. Over here, you got what is called up, and then you got what is called down on the other side. But that's only because this motherfucker is called down, so we gotta call this one what? Up. So there's four things actually happening. That means you gotta not look at the scale, you gotta look at the scale. The scale. The actual single independent unit. But you got one over here and you got one over there. We're looking at the absolute value of both of these. I just got a scale, but you got a left scale and then you got a right scale, and those things are balancing between lefts and rights now, plural. So the integrity comes in with the knowing that it's already going to do it. So if you're doing something, you're already compensating or balancing out with something else. And that might be for more or for less. The thing is it holding you accountable to you? Are you living with integrity? Allowing yourself to do what you do? That's the move. So here's the challenge or the practical lesson with this that our angels want to teach us. You have drawn this card as you will shortly be tempted to do something that does not reflect you in the best light. Think carefully before acting and ask yourself if your proposed course of action is fair and beneficial to everyone concerned. Resolve any problems or concerns before moving forward. So what's been holding you back? What's been stopping you? What's retarding your attack? Take a think and recurse upon a beat so you can get a new future speak. Presently, you just using it as affirmations, trying to make it happen in the future pacing. But nope, it's you in the scenery. So I guess you gotta do what you do presently up in the scenery, and that's the past. You gotta look back about the past. I gotta take a look at the past and take an outer point of view and see me learning on the groove, rising. So we're going to be tempted with something. What do we need to be taking a second thought about? I have mine, but I have a few that want to pop up too. So it's like, which one? And it's like, I'm making excuses. So, for me, I'm seeing mine as excuses. Okay, we got Acriel that want to show. Rahiel, which, again, I always see this as a sneaky card, but it's absolutely not. It's just my perception. Excuse me. So the perception is really what's the key in the stability thing, but that's a different story because that's our foundational cards where we grow from. Then we got ISDA. So this makes a lot of sense to me. This is number 11, and a lot of these angelic cards always have the angel as the third wheel in between two things. And so the cool thing about this is it's the same thing. These two cards are representing temptation. This is internal, okay, where people are going to act like nobody want to hear you, but you don't care. You're going to talk anyway. And guess what? This person don't want to fucking be bothered, but that's going to be found out later. And that's what this does when you stand in your power, speak your truth. This person isn't here to talk about fruits with this person. They're here to listen to you. So no matter what situation this is, they're here to hear you, not be distracted by them. So this is something that you're going to be tempted about. To maybe go off and try to tell somebody about something, just stay locked in and stay focused. Over here, it's the same thing, but these two things, these two people over here, they're questioning what was already created. So this is a distraction of external things preventing what you truly desire, whereas this is your truly desires is being pulled on by superficial possibilities, maybes. But the thing is, you got to take key to this heart. And so the heart is what always balances the mind. If this person wants something logical, this person wants something logical, then they can understand each other's hearts a little bit better because their mind is already kind of set, even if they might have different feelings about it. Their heart is helping them keep their minds intact. But eventually, the heart is going to come into the play, and we know that their heart is in different spaces. Just like here, these two people's hearts are in different spaces. This one wants to be distractive, this one wants to listen. Maybe this one wants to start a family, this one wants to finish up a career. No matter how it's swung, heart is the key. So should they focus on their heart or focus on how they think? That's a huge thing because they think they should both come up and listen to this person talk, but their hearts are in two different spots. But let's get a more practical understanding instead of my intuition. We got a 4, 4, and a 7, 7, 11, 4, 4, 7, but it's really 11 right here. Okay, you got the 11 here, and then you got a 6, 17, that's an 8. Loopsy loops, that's what we call the past. That's we trying to write a future. Okay. So acreal is sexuality. This normally, well, I'll just read it. But it normally stems from, again, holding something back. Not knowing if something out there is for me. Would this person inside here judge me for bringing something up that never has been brought up? Let's listen. Traditionally, Acreal is the angel of bareness and is called upon for help in the case of infertility. Nowadays, he is called upon with help for help with all problems associated with sexuality or creation. He has another important role as well. People who are studying and need to memorize a great deal of material also call upon him. Why? Because you're making love with yourself. When you learn your Z9 disc personality type, you get a chance to make love to yourself. So when people in the spiritual community say love yourself, now you know which one. Now you know how. Now you know what that part of you needs. And it's nobody but you telling you what this shit means. It just guides you to a deeper understanding of you. And then you can guide yourself further if you make the right moves. He is sometimes called the angel of intellectual achievement. Remember going back to these two people having the same mindset? different hearts. But again, I want to fuck, she want to fuck, let's fuck. They can bypass the heart and just fuck if they wanted to. That's the understanding of like how the mind, how parts only lined up can lead to other things being misaligned or aligned. It's just not as accurate. And that's the key. You want to be a little bit more accurate with yourself. And that's what the journaling is supposed to do. That's what the affirmations are supposed to do. That's what the cleansing energies are supposed to do. Sorry. Acrael is shown smelling at a young couple who are obviously in love. He wears greenish robes with a wide brown belt around his waist. In one hand, he holds a large red heart. Your challenge for this card, again, is you have drawn this card because you need to accept every aspect of your being, including your sexuality. You may be anxious about certain aspects of your sex life. Alternatively, you might be promiscuous and make love indiscriminately. Sex is an important part of life, but it needs to be used wisely. Alternatively, you may be experiencing problems with your studies. Ask Acreal to help you focus, concentrate, and retain what you have learned. You are doing, it's all creation. But are you creating memories for yourself in the personal world, the school world, your training, what in your family, with yourself? What are you doing to make that brain understand that heart? But what are you doing to not limit that heart because your brain has fears? How can you let that heart run free? Well, there's a lot of things that you have as a challenge, but it's normally how you think about the feelings that you're seeking. ING, it tells us that it's progressive, but the energy that you need is to be holistic. So if I'm trying to add while trying to be a circle, I can never be a circle while adding until you use the Z9. So, moving along to Isda. Let's find her. I haven't used these cards in so long, man. Okay, so this is exactly what I was saying. It's not just the physical sex. Here is Isda. Her card is all about spirituality. Isda, or Isda, is the angel of physical, emotional, and spiritual nourishment. Again, going back into loving all of yourself. Again, you got to love all yourself. So, I'm about to jump into it, man. If I got a this personality, and if I'm the D dominant energy, that energy is what you call the fire energy, the rod energy, the wands. And then if you have the I energy, that's the, that is, it's diamonds. Diamonds or what? I'm going to skip. Steadfastness is earth sign. Conscientiousness is the air. So the I influences the water. My bad. Brain fart. But thank you, Acrael, for helping this out, bringing it back. But that's the idea. When I can have all four of those things understood, those are just ingredients. I don't know how to use these motherfuckers to make meals. So I can get nourished with these parts on the side, but I'm not satiated. That's what a lot of people who go vegan say, or vegetarian. They don't feel completely whole or satiated with what has been consumed. Or the body is not like feeling full. But that's a mental thing. And so you change what the mind is doing by giving it certain nutrients and or nourishment, and then it can accept the other side, or the body can accept the new diet. Again, it's simple stuff, but it's a blending aspect or mixing, so it looks a little hard because, again, different drawings. It's like, where's Waldo? It's just a bunch of people, but you're looking for a person, so it gets a little difficult. because you're thinking about it like that. All right. Because of the reference to physical nourishment, Isda is also sometimes called the angel of food. Isda is normally shown sitting on the ground, attending an outdoor picnic on a beautiful summer's day. There is plenty of food and drink available for all guests who are sitting in a semicircle listening to Isda. She has dark brown hair and wears pale robes. Here's your challenge. Listen up. Are you looking after every aspect of your being? Maybe you celibate like me, you haven't been fucking. And guess what? Maybe it's time. But guess what? Are you going to be tempted with just anything? But guess what? Are you going to be tempted to do the same things of the past in the present? Guess what? Is that making the future or is that keeping you in a loop? Guess what? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. We might have to wait if that, let's say, D personality type doesn't know what to do. The D just want to go fuck. Dominant energy maybe just want to go for this. Like your Aries, your Leos, or Sag, make those choices. But then the water signs, you get people like that who do the same thing. Why? Because the feelings that they carry is, here's where it gets a little complicated, gets mixed around and then inversely viewed as a fire sign. That's just looking at the South Pole as the North Pole and then the North Pole as the South Pole. It flipped. Pole shift. These things, polarization, it just alternates. So now this is the South Pole up here, and then this is the North Pole down here. The east side of the planet, west side of the planet. Those things are the same because it's got to go to the center. So you got to look at this shit from the right point of view, but the thing is, how? You got to look at all of yous. You don't know which version of you was doing the looking all the time. You just assume you're the same version of you with the same point of view. There's so many layers to you that it is best to start off with something simple like 1 out of 4. But you're grown enough to know that you know how you act with this kind of people. You know what you do in this environment. You know what happens when you have this around you. Like, you know yourself well enough that you got the ingredients to who you are, but do you know how to cook with yourself? And the problem with what I'm trying to bring to you now is a lot of people have their own recipes and they can't show you how to cook their recipe with your ingredients. Imagine watching a TV show called Chopped and you get your basket and it is mystery ingredients. You got a lot of random fucking recipes you want to make, but then you got a lot of random potential ingredients you can have. And at some point, you got to match them up, but it doesn't match up like this. It matches up like this. Now you got to say, oh, here's the ingredients, but I can't do any of these recipes. Or maybe I could, or maybe I can't. Maybe something's missing. Maybe something is not. You get a snapshot of who you are, and then you get to figure shit out, and then you change. That means in the next round, you get a different box with different ingredients, but it's the same pathway. It's the same process. And every single time you do the process, something is lost while something is able to be gained, which means you add a space. By you knowing more, you get to add more space for nourishing more. That means when you're usually in a spirituality, you have an area of neglect from said practice. When you are in a spirituality, some kind of practice, that means you have a neglect because you're doing a practice. A refers to one. If you do a multitude of things, that means you are a multitude, plural. That is not a spirituality, that is spiritual. The difference, though, is that you're always going to be neglecting something if you don't practice a religion. Do you see what I'm saying here? One of your versions of you was like, nah, we gotta stick to the page, which is to stay on our spiritual path. But that doesn't mean you can't be some kind of formal denomination of that spirituality manifested. You gotta appreciate that both are here for the right same reasons. It's the same thing. All is one, right? But guess what? When you got four different personalities, you got to understand it's still just personality. So we can act like one another. And so we even know that we are who we are most surrounded by. So why? It's because the personalities are overlapping because of experiences. And as they develop and interact and build these local spaces, you guys create some kind of way to communicate with one another. But it happens as a trinity, and something is always left out. It's not a bad thing. It's only bad if you don't know how to use it. But this shows up as neglect, malnourishment. You're lacking in some area. You're forgetful of something. So, like, as I've been doing what I've been doing, I haven't really been working as much. And guess what? I gotta go work more. But I've been successful over here, so now I'm about to neglect this shit or the work I've been doing to do something else. So that means I'm working more. So it's just like seeing how it just can easily flip flop. It can help you understand, oh, that's just balance on the scale because it's flip flopping from not left to right side. It's this scale is up and down. My energies for the gym is up. My energy for the gym is down. It's a scale that I'm balancing, but then this is the energies of my work, and I'm high energy for work, then I'm low energy for work, and guess what? If I'm high energy at work, you're going to be low energy for the gym. And then if you're high energy for the gym, you might be low energy for the work. So the idea is to find the balance in between, where I got just enough energy to do my job, which will give me just enough energy to work the fuck out. That is what you're looking at. It's not the scale from what you're doing. It's utilizing what we call the negaton. Negaton, baby, it's coming at you. Negaton is a negated, damped trait summary of a triplet recursed through space and time at a period. Very, very complicated, but use the app, you'll understand what I mean. But when you understand this, this is looking at how all the traits that are being neglected at a single moment can turn up as the opposite as of the dominant trait. So if it has north side, then all the south, east, and west will show up as just the south side. And it'll be the opposite. But the south side is made up of actual three different things. And that's the key. Because the only reason why the north side is dominant is because of three different things. So I got three energies that are low energy, and then my north is up real high. So that means when I'm all the way down here, I got to have a master low. And that would be the south side if it was the north side. Who's the king of the dark world kind of vibe. This is your dampened trait in our Z9 calculator. But again, this is how you take the understanding of neglect, which always happens. You're going to need to always nourish something, and that means something always being depleted. That gives you purpose. But guess what? Without knowing the creative aspects of what to do with that purpose, even though you are deeply in love with having purpose, you got to know that the mission is changing. And if you can't find the change for the mission, you got to understand that you're in need of nourishing something. The nourishment is hard to find if you don't know. But if you write something in a journal, that shit is stuck on the pages. Use the Z9 calculator to keep yourself active upon who you are in real time. And then you can stay on your journey, nourishing all parts of you. So, determine what area of your life is depleted with the Z9 calculator, this traits, and then take action to restore your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. You see how there's four of those things right there? Well, the Z9 calculator gives you four areas as well. Why? Because it knows that you need four things to be nurtured. And if everything can be balanced where I got just enough energy to do it all, then that will take you further than being a superstar over here in just one. You're tired, bro. Go take a rest. Tap in. You're still on the same team, dog. You just worked hard. Give somebody else a chance to work hard too. It's all the same you. All right, people. Go ahead and check out the calculator. Actually, you can't because it ain't up yet. But by the time this upload, it'll be up. Nope, it won't be. So when it pop up, go check it out. I'll definitely make some announcements for it, so don't trip. All right, I appreciate y'all for being back with me. Yeah, go learn all parts of yourself so you can stop neglecting parts of yourself, and then learn how to balance you. All right, peace.